let me give you 5 tips of how to do business in Europe as an American. So, you are looking to do business in Europe. Whether you're intending to expand there or start a brand new business or just to build relationships, you might be taking a set of assumptions with you. Perhaps you figured that business is business and it's pretty much the same anywhere, or that European culture is very close to the US culture rather than to Asia or Middle East. Okay, while both of those points are partially true, it's very important to realize that Europe is a place of enormous cultural diversity and one that has certain preconceptions about Americans. For all the commonality between business and culture, there are some aspects of doing business in Europe as an American might really surprise you.
Surprise, surprise.
And right today, in this video, I'm going to give you some tips that will definitely help you as an American to start your business in Europe. Hello, my dear friends from all over the world. I'm Anna, and I used to live in 7 different countries in the world, and currently I have my business running in 2 countries. Most importantly, I'm working with my customers from more than 55 countries globally. And that's why on this channel, I'm sharing with you some business insights, some ideas how to bring your business to international markets, some personal finance, and also professional development. If you would like to know more, please consider subscribing to this channel, and let's get started. Number 1, and be prepared for totally different payment methods. While the US has come a long way from this typical model of cash or check, it still lags behind lots of European nations in the uptake of newer payment methods. Having debuted in the UK in 2007, around 90% of all payments in business in Europe thought to be contactless, while total card payments overtook cash back in 2017. Neighboring Ireland and France have both seen a very similar changes, albeit in differences in contactless apps and cards being used. This isn't true everywhere though. While contactless as well as mobile payments no doubt is the future, some countries have been slower on the uptake than others. This includes highly developed countries as Germany, for example, where cash still remains a mainstay of many businesses. Other countries like, for example, the Netherlands use a very unique payment methods, such as bank transfer system Ideal, while pay later options like Klarna are proving to be extremely popular. Just a few days ago, I got my new Hoover using that particular method. With this Klarna method, I paid in 3 installments in 3 months the same amount of money with 0% interest. Great option, especially for small businesses. And adapting for these new payment options might be make or break for your business. Number 2, and sales tax, which is very different and also very important. Sales tax isn't exactly an unknown quantity in the US, but it's the one that not all businesses have to trouble themselves with. Not all states apply sales tax, and sales tax in the US is not generally factored into the ticket price of products, which is totally different in Europe, where the price you see for an item will, with the exception of some websites, will usually include sales tax added on it already. Known in Europe as value-added tax or VAT, sales tax exists in every European country, while the European Union places limits on exactly how high or low VAT can be. The countries in Europe can decide their own rate and what exactly it is applied to, with limits. Many countries in Europe have VAT-free items, while a few have 0 VAT items, which act similarly, but must be reported differently. While VAT is a consumer cost and not a business cost, businesses still need to pay VAT before being able to claim it back. In the European Union, it's usually done using the system which is called MOS VAT, or the mini one-stop shop. By registering for MOS VAT system in the country you are based in, you can pay the local rate tax for your customers to a single authority rather than to different tax authorities in a number of countries you have your customers in. Number 3, and always be mindful about residency requirements. Visas are the obvious issue when you're planning to do business in another country. While striking your business deals is not usually an issue, starting or expanding a new business into a new country might require from you or from someone else to have more fixed presence in that country. It isn't always a direct requirement for every company formation, but easily can be an indirect one. For example, when it comes to opening a bank account in that country for your newly born company. Some banks are required from you to be based in this country, and a bank account is required to deposit share capital. Similarly, starting a business in different European countries might require physical business premises, the logistics of which might require you to be presented in this country for an extended period. Available visas will also depend from country to country, with visas often available for innovative businesses or those pledging to invest above a certain amount of money. Of course, you can hire a professional agency to speed up this process for you. They can even provide you with service officers and also act on your behalf when it comes to opening a bank account with a local bank. Number next, and don't forget that the UK is a part of Europe, just not the European Union anymore. It's an obvious geographical point, but no one would ever blame you for switching during this uncertain period of Brexit. A very important bit of information I want you to take under consideration that the UK, England, Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales is geographically in Europe and still has handful access to European systems and services. It is no longer a part of the European Union. This denies it access to many schemes relevant for businesses, including things like European research and development fundings, access to certain financial services, and the free movement of European talent. Also means it retains its own currency, which is British pound, which has taken a bit of beating lately. The UK might be at an advantage of making its own policies the European Union cannot affect anymore, but it's really bad news that it didn't show any signs of benefiting from it yet. There is no doubt that the UK is still a very attractive destination for a number of American companies, and it still remains a major center of global finance, and still is the largest fintech destination outside of the US, as well as having a large and highly developed consumer market. But I have to admit, it is a massive disadvantage of running business in the UK when you don't have a free access to European markets. And it still has its own cultural differences you will have to get used to. Like working culture in the UK, guys, it's totally different from working culture you have in the US. And by the way, if you're thinking about expanding your business in the UK or opening a company here and you have any questions regarding it, my contact details are here. I will also share with you in the description to this video. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, please drop me an email. It took me about 24 hours and £12 to set a company in the UK, and I will be happy to share my own experience with you, and we can even do it together. Anyway, you know exactly what to do. If you have any questions, if you need any help, drop me an email. Let's discuss your situation in particular. I will be so happy to help you and share my own experience with you. So far, it's going quite well to run a company in the UK. Last but far not least, the European Union is a club. It's not a country. While lots of Americans have different stereotypes about European countries, let's say France or Germany, let's be honest, Europe in the US often seen as a one country. And while it can be seen as a small but one country, in fact Europe manages to have 44 different countries. You will be surprised, but each of those countries has its own culture, its own history, and usually separate language. And most importantly for you guys, every single European market has its own business etiquette, different demands and different likes and dislikes. In other words, your product or service, which might work perfectly somewhere in Italy, can never work somewhere in Sweden or in Norway. And when it comes to 27 member states of the European Union, the EU for short, there are some parallels with the United States. While every single country in Europe is much more culturally distinct than the United States, the EU shares similar relationship within the countries as the federal government does with American states. While certain laws are voted by the European Parliament and the European Union has the highest court of appeal, every European country has also a large amount of autonomy. What all this means is that while things like product standards are pretty much the same across the whole European Union, things like taxes, visas, local employment laws are totally different. Most importantly, guys, never treat the European Union as one single country. Businesses in Europe have dozens of completely different markets right on their doorstep, something which is super exciting and will represent both for you challenge and opportunity. If you would like to get some more information about opening your company in different European countries, please reach out. Write me an email. All my contact details are here and also in the description to this video. I will be happy to provide you a step-by-step guide on companies formation in different European and also Scandinavian countries, opening a business bank account, some basic tax advice, and also some recommendations what countries in Europe and in Scandinavia are the best to do business and their main advantages of doing that business. Thank you so much, my friends, for being with me today, for watching this video. I hope you find it useful. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions left, and I will try my best to help you. For now, enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope I'll see you in my next videos. Bye guys, bye.